8.1.2 The completed testament age is declared through the victory of the true parents. In 1992, I proclaimed the coming of the Messiah and the true parents to the world. Thereafter, I drove providential fortune, and in this year, 1993, I announced the true parents and the completed testament age in America from May 13th. I created the environment in which all this can be accomplished. As you know, America is the nation that represents the whole world. It is the nation that serves as the final home for the Christian cultural sphere. Now, with the true parents as the center, we entering a new age. That is, we are entering the completed testament age. This declaration was made for the first time ever on earth. How eagerly God must have waited for this time. What a miserable situation God has been in throughout the ages of history. Now, the age of hope has come near. We have entered the age when we can proclaim the true parents. This is a historical event that carries all the significance of universal history. Up until now, there has never been such an event throughout human history. The 20 years from 1972 to 1992 is the period when we went beyond the mission of Christianity, centering on Korea. On the national level, I fulfilled the indemnity condition that corresponds to the Old Testament age. The holy marriage of the true parents in 1960 and our activities in America on the global stage corresponds to the relationship between the Old Testament age and the New Testament age. They have the same contents. Through this, the worldwide settlement of the true parents was concluded in this period. That is why I announced the completed testament age, which is the time when we can live with God. We, Unification Church members, have now come to the age of living with God. What is the completed testament age? It refers to the time when the family of the central true parents has achieved a complete victory and has gone beyond the fallen realm of the world. The enemies who have been trying to strike down Reverend Moon's family disappear from the environment. They disappear because they are defeated in the fight. Even if you won a championship in shooting, if you were defeated in the Olympic Games, can you still claim that you are the best? You would have to give up your medal as the champion.
The words "the completed testament age is the true parents" have nothing to do with Satan. Once the words "the completed testament age" and "the true parents" appear, Satan will have to retreat. This is a privileged time. Thus, everyone should reach perfection at the time of the second advent. Right now, I'm thinking about Adam's age, Jesus' age, and the true parents' age. Why 3 stages? Adam's age represents the formation stage, Jesus' age the growth stage, and the true parents' age the completion stage. It is through these 3 stages or generations that the restoration of Eden in the Old Testament age, the restoration of Eden in the New Testament age, and the restoration of Eden in the completed Testament age unfolds. Now, I am the only one who remains in the completed Testament age. The completed Testament age is a time to return to the family. Unification starts with the individual. You cannot enter the kingdom of heaven even for tens of thousands of years unless you have gone over this hill. You cannot restore the right of the eldest son, which can be done through bringing Satan to voluntary submission. This is not a forced submission, but through persuasion. Did you surrender yourself voluntarily or forcibly? Since you have been persuaded, you should surrender voluntarily, right? Through this, heavenly families on earth and in heaven, and all the victorious dominion over thousands of years is attained all at once, centering on a family, while all the nations of the world stand in equal positions. This is a blueprint from which a cast will be made of the true parents as the model. This should be distributed. Then, with this cast, the copies are immediately produced whether they are made. Likewise, the families of the 5 billion humankind of the whole world are engrafted as one global family and returned to the nation, the kingdom of heaven of liberation that had been lost. This is the completed Testament age, the age in which the promise of God is fulfilled. What was lost during the Old Testament age should be recovered. In the Old Testament age, all things were sacrificed. In the New Testament age, the Son was sacrificed. And in the completed Testament age, the parent was sacrificed. With respect to all these, we should therefore deny everything, including the parents and children of our own family. In order to return everything that Satan had taken from heaven, we should offer heaven everything that we have, denying them and even adding greater love than the love of Satan's world. In such a way, by putting ourselves in a position of denying everything, there will come a time when we will have paid the indemnity needed to restore the Old Testament age, the New Testament age, and the completed Testament age. The time of elimination is coming. I am saying these things so that by following the principle of resurrection, the blessed families will avoid being caught by Satan and can be liberated. Going through things in the Old Testament age, the second Adam in the New Testament age, and our own substantial self in the completed Testament age, indicates that the direction has to be changed 180 degrees, centered upon God. All that used to be yours should be returned to the parent who brings them to God. Love should be resurrected. We as individuals are on the formation stage. Our family is on a growth stage, and our tribe is on the perfection stage. These three stages should become one.
What is the most important thing in the course of history? It is the emergence of the realm of the chosen people. In this age, I am trying to connect this realm on the world level to the foundation of three stages of development: the formation, growth, and the completion stages. These relights correspond to the formation level, Christianity to the growth level, and the Unification Church to the completion level. In the realm of Israel, it was the center of the Old Testament age. Christianity was the center of the New Testament age, and Unification Church is that of the completed Testament age. The completed Testament age is the age of achievement. What should be achieved? Individually, families, tribes, people, nation, and the world should be completed. Centering on what? Centering on God's love, God's life, and God's lineage. Through this, all should be connected. This is the tradition of a single lineage, a single love, and a single life. If this happens, Satan will have to leave. Through this engraftment, Satan's connection to the lineage disappears. When tribal messiahs are dispatched, the completed Testament age arrives. If all families are engrafted to these tribal messiahs who are dispatched without going through a course of indemnity, The walls in the worlds on earth and in heaven will crumble. In other words, we can return to the position of being the people of the kingdom of heaven. This means that we can enter the realm of the royal family of the kingdom of heaven. So, once the tribal messiahs established their own physical mothers and fathers in the position of true parents, their hometowns will be directly connected to the kingdom of heaven. Then their birth mothers and fathers can stand in the position of being restored to the lineage of the parents who have reached perfection without having fallen. Through these amazing events in which your entire hometowns turn into the kingdom of heaven can occur. The most important thing is that in the completed Testament age, we live together with God. Thus, we should expedite these three requirements, namely the change of lineage, the change of ownership, and the change of heart. So you should practice in your families the four realms of heart, the three kingships, and the realm of royal family. Once this is successfully done, everything is over. This is the last mission to be undertaken by the blessed families. This is your last mission, your destiny. The completed Testament age centering on the true parents refers to the time of receiving the blessing centered on God. Through the completion of such an ideal of the second advent, which shows the way to the liberation of all peoples and humankind, transcending all, the world becomes one of peace and unification. Receiving the completed Testament age centered on the true parents involved the blessing that is going on throughout the world. In the completed Testament age, the blessing was given at the completion level. Therefore, all people can stand on the same level, and their descendants can receive the blessing. 5 billion human beings, the descendants of the three great ancestors, are now living on earth. By giving them the blessing with those from the liberation realm of the three great ancestors, all of them can receive the same grace in equal proportion. This is because they are now connected to the parent-child relationship. Such a time has arrived. An urgent time has come.
Now the ownership should be restored. In order to attend God, in the Old Testament age, things were sacrificed. In the New Testament age, the Son was sacrificed. Enter the completed Testament age, the parent was sacrificed. What should you do now? You should stand in the position of the mother and father on their behalf. Sons and daughters represent the New Testament age, and all things represent the Old Testament age. As these Old Testament, New Testament, and completed Testament ages all come within the range of God's true love, you should pay indemnity for having deviated from God's love and come back to the original owner and return to him all that Satan controlled.